Okay, here we go. 2021. And what a year it's been. And I know what you're thinking, like, we're 4 days into, it's even worse. 4 days into 2021, and I'm like, what a year it's been. So, I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and a nice new year. All of that jazz. Mine was actually quite pleasant. I managed to get out of like my tier 4 lockdown before I even knew it was a thing. Like, I finished work. I went to bubble with my parents over Christmas because, I hadn't really seen anyone for the entire fucking year and neither had they. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go there. There are no current restrictions stopping me from doing so. It's perfectly all fine. Then whilst I was there, Bojo classically just went and said, yes, the area that you're living in is now tier 4. And I was just like, but I was tier 2, like just a day ago. So, yeah, all went to shite. But either way, I was out, and then I was a bit worried about coming back because I'm like technically going from a tier 2 area into a tier 4, but like I'm going to be alone. Anyways, I'm back now. And boy, it was shit coming back. So I moved here it's 3 years ago now, literally. Like, I've been in this small flat for 3 years. It's not where I thought I would be at this age. Like, I'm 30, I'm halfway through my 30th year. I'm going to say halfway through my 30s, but no, 30th. Yeah. And like, if you would have asked me 10 years ago what I thought my life would be like, it would not be like this. Like, this is not what I wanted out of life, to be alone in a tiny flat, living out of small bedrooms and little rundown houses. I don't know. The boiler was replaced, but then the pipes exploded. I come back to find my bathroom completely flooded. I now have no running water, hot or cold, until it's fixed, which is going to take time. I don't know how long. And if you'd have told me 10 years ago, like, yeah, you're still going to be unhappy and in a shithole, I would have been like, nah, I got more drive than that. I could do that. No, I can power through anything. Apparently not. Like, I'm incredibly frustrated with the way things are. And I've not really told anyone this at all. It's just been in my head, because I've always thought no one else gives a fuck. And for the most part, I'm correct. Like, anyone, like, I don't, this is purely for me, so I have an outlet, so I can look back and be like, okay, yeah, I'm thinking, I'm working it through, because otherwise I won't talk. It will all just stay in my head, and I won't make plans, and I won't try. I will try, but I won't, like, truly reflect, I think. Like, I reflect somewhat, but until I kind of put it down as evidence that, like, this is logged, like, I don't know, I won't commit maybe, or think properly. Which is weird, because like, I do that all the time. Like, my mind's constantly thinking what I can do to improve and be out of this situation. But the situation is, I'm miserable here. And there's not really much I can do about it. The last 5 years, I've been trying to pay off debt that I got when I went into severe depression. And that depression never really went away. It got lessened to some extent, but it never went away. So, happy to say I'm out of debt and saving, but like, the goal to have a house that's, not this tiny place. And if I remember, I will film it and show you just how much room I've had to work with. And bear in mind, like, this is the last year of my life. This is the only place I've had to walk around in. Like, I've been here. That's it. Like, I've hardly been outside other than to cycle and to maybe see the family once or twice during that time, because that was the only time I could. So it's, yeah, I don't want to be in this place, and I want to buy a house, but I don't have enough savings. I have, like, depending on the market, I have maybe 3 grand saved after paying off my debts, and that's not bad. But I need 20 minimum for a house. It's just, like, I ain't gonna get that. That's years away. I'm 30 years old, I'm single, been alone my entire life, essentially. I can't afford that by myself, like in this current situation. And the opportunity or the offer to move out of this place and back with my parents is actually on the table. And they said, come live here. You won't pay rent. You won't pay food. Even though when I used to live with them, I used to pay rent and food. So it's nice that they're offering this. But I don't know. Like, I think I'm going to take them up on the offer. But like, I moved out for a reason. And if they are watching this, I don't think they know about this channel. They know about my music stuff, which is equally disappointing because nobody gives a fuck about that either. So if they are watching this, please, like, don't mention it. It's going to be awkward. But yeah, I moved out for a reason, and that was to have like my own freedom. I could go out into the world and live how I wanted to, which never really worked out because how I wanted to live was, hey, go into this place, save up for a couple of years, buy a house, start saving into a mortgage or whatever. Not happened. I've been living alone essentially for 6 years since, I moved out of uni. I lived at home for a few years, and then I moved here to Milton Keynes into a shared house, which I moved out of into this flat. And yeah, I've been like in that situation for 6 years now. And it's just like, I can continue to stay here for the foreseeable future, another 3 years whilst I save up 20k. Like, if I can save up 20k in 3 years. Or I can move back with them and considerably save up much quicker, instead of saving 200-300 a month at most, I would be saving everything that I wouldn't be spending on this house. I wouldn't be paying, like, rent is saved, electricity bill saved, water bill is saved. Don't actually pay gas, so actually no, I do, bastards. This is a whole electric household, but I pay gas. Food, like, I could save well over £1,000 a month just from not living here. And that would be really, really handy to have towards a house deposit. But like, I don't want to be 30 years old and living with my parents, that's just depressing to me. But equally, I don't want to be this kind of ghost in this fucking tiny ass prison cell. Comfortable prison cell, don't get me wrong. I've got my sofa and my games and stuff, but like, it's still like a prison cell at the moment to me because it's just small and damp and fucking not mine. So I don't know what I'm going to do at the moment, but this is just to think ahead. I would like to put out some more content on this channel, but I don't really know how it's going to go. So for the moment, it's tough. I will probably do another update later when I've decided what I'm going to do. But for now, like, yeah, I don't know.